I'm still on the journey to become a full-time artist. For anyone following the journey, they might be wondering, have I made it yet? Am I there? Have I gone from my sort of previous part-time to full-time artistic endeavours? The answer to that is no. However, I have had some positive bits and pieces happening, and I just wanted to share that in this weekly vlog. So, first things first, grants. Now, I mentioned not too long ago in a previous video how I had attempted to get a grants via the Arts Council England, and I hadn't got the grant. I tried getting enough so that I could basically up my game and increase my artistic practice and bring it up to the next level. I did the application, it didn't go through. Did another application, didn't go through. That was it. As far as the Arts Council England go, I have 4 years now before I'm eligible to reapply. And do I think I'd ever be successful in reapplying? I mean, I put my best foot forward. Who knows? It could be the artwork style, anime, manga, game stuff. It's not art material. It's not fine art. It's it's game art. It's comic art. It's the sort of art that's just considered totally sort of disposable and pointless. And even though I love it, loads of people love it. You know, the video game industry, for example, is so many more times, I don't know what it is at the minute, 5,000 times bigger than the movie industry, something like that. Probably not quite that big, but you get the idea. It's big. People like this stuff. People like the artwork, the aesthetic to it, and I do. And that was the whole reason why I got involved in the art thing. So I wanted to find ways to continue the career out of doing what I'm doing, and I did get a grant in the end. So this was basically a letter that basically just said that we are going to be awarding you £500 in order to sort of help fulfill your artistic dreams. So this was from the Oppenheim John Dowles Memorial Trust. So brilliant, great news. I'm really appreciative for that, because I put forward my application and my situation, and they didn't have to give any money to me, but they did. It wasn't as much as I'd asked for, but it's still enough such that I could put it towards like a new graphics tablet, or some new computer components, or whatever it is. It's enough such that you can do something with it. If someone sort of on the street, if you were begging for spare change, what can you do? Buy a coffee with it, and then an hour later you're in the same sort of position. So I really appreciate that. That was some good news. Just goes to show, worth asking for these types of things. Some people are going to say no. Most people are going to say no. But occasionally people will say yes. So if you're an artist and you are looking for help in order for you to do what you want to do, it might just be worth looking into grants. Maybe not the Arts Council England, maybe there's something in your country. I know that the majority of people that watch my videos aren't even in England. They tend to be in America. And I know there are grants and things like that going on in America. There might be things available to you. So yeah, have a look. You might get lucky, you might get some funding, and then you can move forward. And even if it's just a small thing, it keeps you going for the time being. And it shows as well that someone has kind of noticed you, they're following your plight, what you're trying to do, and they want to support you. And that, makes a big difference and gives you that little boost to continue sometimes. So another good thing, I don't have a flu anymore. So start of 2025, I got a flu. 2 weeks later, I got another flu. And then about 4 weeks later, I got another flu. I ended up spending the first sort of 2 or 3 months basically more ill and dealing with illness than I was actually fit and well. And that was quite difficult to just make anything happen. So I don't have that now. I feel pretty good. Managed to, doing activity is normally the test. So I went to the climbing centre, as I do, did some bouldering. I felt okay from it, a bit weak, obviously, from having not done it for a few months and having to take time off. But I was like, yeah, okay, I'm back on form. I even forgot my jumper, so I had to run back to the climbing centre after sort of parking down the road a little bit. So I drove off and I was like, oh, wait, I forgot my thing. Can't park right outside the centre, but I drove down the road a little bit, did a 3-minute run to the climbing centre, grabbed my jumper and I ran back. And I was like, oh, okay. There you go. I did a bit of running as well, which is a weird thing because my cardio is, not great. So it was good news. It was good to know that if there was an emergency and I had to run away for someone for about 5 minutes, I could probably do it. Any more than 5 minutes and they'd catch me and It'd be like my reoccurrent nightmares I keep having where I keep getting chased. But so far in the dreams, I just managed to get away. So perhaps that's mirroring my real life status. And then the other thing, I'm looking into getting some stickers done. I mentioned about this week having a job to sort of produce stickers. I was sort of working out sort of size-wise what to do. I've come to the conclusion that in producing stickers, I would probably do like a small pack of like maybe 3 to 5 stickers and then sell them as a bundle, because the more you produce, the cheaper they get, and they're not particularly expensive to get made. I went on the internet, so I managed to get some quotes from a couple of sellers that were making them. Obviously, China was the way forward. It's kind of funny, I'd like to support countries and businesses sort of closer to home, but they just can't cut it. But it was good that I did, that, I had an idea of doing stickers, and it's always a bit difficult finding quotes for things. It's not like going on Amazon and saying, buying a sticker. When you actually need a customized, personalized product, you have to kind of figure out exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to present it. And then you have to work out material, sizes, and then the limitations of those. And then you have to maybe discuss it with someone who might be manufacturing it to get a gist and an idea. Now, I don't know if stickers are even worth doing at this point. I knew I needed something for the comic conventions that I attend. Not that I attend a lot, I'm down to like 3-4 tops per year. But now that I've sold out of all my how to draw books, I feel like I need another product. My 2-player head-to-head card game Total Blast is still in the works. That's probably not going to be ready till, well, I want to say at some point this year, the end of the year, potentially. Which was another good thing, because I actually went back to some Chinese manufacturers using Alibaba, which I know some people don't like, but it's all I know. So I went online, went to Alibaba. After getting some sticker quotes, I then got some game quotes, and I kind of now know what it's going to cost to produce the game. I also got a quote from a UK supplier. No surprise, but it was double what it would be if I got the game made in China. Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. You kind of have to source these things where you can. It's still a bit difficult though when you've got a product which, I don't know how much exactly it's going to end up costing. Let's just say it costs 5 units, whatever that means. And I expect to sell it top end for maybe 20 units. But then if I take into account potential sort of marketing and things, maybe I'm only then making 15 units. It's still, a 66.6% increase on the cost. But what happens as well if you wanted to sell it to other retailers at a reduced cost so that they can then sell it for £20, or maybe they would want to undercut you and sell it for, say, 15, 16 pounds units. I don't know, I've gone to pounds now. Yeah, it's a case of, is it still doable? Because there's a lot to take into consideration. And the hardest part is figuring out how to get it to customers. Because if you really want to sell big, you've kind of got to go international. If you're trying to sell more than 100 things, then I think that's what you're going to need to do. So what's the best way to do that? And there's all this talk of tariffs at the moment, increasing the costs of things coming out of China by like 50%. I then have to work out, if I got some kind of fulfillment center to take the order or part of an order that I put in with a Chinese manufacturer, and then they fulfill the order in, say, the States or somewhere else in America, Germany or something, but certainly the States, because that's where the tariffs are. I have to work out, would it be better for me to just get all this stuff, take it over to the UK and then send it out to the US? Trouble is, you're paying at least one set of taxes doing that, and you're going to add 20% of tax on the cost of products before you then send it out. Yeah, that's just another thing to take into consideration. So the point is, I did some positive things. It's easy to sort of come up with a plan of what you want to do and then kind of be a bit overwhelmed by it because it's new. Like, I've never contacted, Chinese manufacturers. Had it been 20, 30 years ago, I wouldn't have had a clue. But luckily, there is the internet. There's easy ways to do it. You have English-speaking reps that are really easy to just message or email, and you can discuss what you want with them. Most of them are pretty good. The ones that I don't like are the ones that are like, hello, my friend, I give you a good price, come to me, I make it all great, my friend, try and sort of sweet talk you a little bit. And I'm like, can we just be professional? I'm going to send you what I want. You're going to send me a quote. We're not best friends at this stage. We're never going to be best friends. I'm trying to be a business, and I want you to just act in a business-like way. Funnily enough, the ones that always keep telling me they're my friend tend to be the people that are willing or that are going to rip me off. And they do. Their prices are always like 3 times what everyone else's is. Kind of funny that. I've got to stop this. I've got to stop this sort of negative spin on everything. This is supposed to be a positive vlog update. And it is. So got my quotes, got rid of the flu, got my grant money. So positive time. So moving forward, I'm in a good mood and hopefully be able to update with some more positives next time. So thanks for listening and I'll see you again on the next video.